Right, welcome back to Pen and Prosper, a podcast where JT Lawrence and I discuss writing and publishing and author mindset and everything in between. Hello, friend, and welcome back.
Hi, Delport. Thank you very much.
I do love that shirt. I think you need to give us
Oh,
a,
thank you.
I think you need to give us a little,
Little
oh,
fashion show,
I
yoga
love
punk.
it. Yoga punk. That's so you, actually. You're such a double-edged sword.
That's how I like the shirt. I'm like, hey, that's me.
Today, I know this is a pod that you are so looking forward to because it is in the shadow of London happening next
Yes.
week. How are you feeling about London? Are you ready?
I'm
Are you?
so flippin' excited.
Oh,
When I thought about it this week, earlier in the week, I was like, oh my God, I'm going on Monday. And like I'm not ready. But actually I am ready. I've booked my train, I've booked accommodation, I've got my ticket. Honestly, I'm ready. I just need to like get my head around the fact that I'm not going to be here next week. So I need to just organize stuff with the kids and stuff, obviously. Mike will be here. Mike's brother Simon is here visiting, so that makes it a lot easier. So my kids can have two dads for a week. It'll be amazing.
and you have received the lineup, have you not? Do you know exactly what's
Yes.
happening?
I do, and I have it in front of me if we want to talk about it.
We will. But before we talk about this London, let's talk about
Mm.
past London. So we have mentioned London before on the pod and spoken about the fact that you learned so much and it was like kind of very
Yeah,
pivotal,
yeah, it was. It was
pivotal moment.
pivotal. It was
A
a turning
pivotal
point.
conference, yes, for you. This is the one. I don't think you even had the money to get to London.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, and this. Okay. Yes. It's all coming back. So you are
So,
obviously going in a very different capacity this year as a mid
yes.
six-figure author compared to the little girl who couldn't afford the ticket to the train.
Yes.
But let's go back. Let's
Yeah.
start again. Let's go back to your first experience of London and kind of I loved how you took us through Seville and what you learned in Seville. We won't go in as much detail, but yeah, tell us all about London and what you learned and
Okay. London, the conference was amazing, and not for the reason that you would think. It wasn't like, oh, this conference blew my mind and it changed my career. Like that's not what happened. It was more of a personal shift that happened. So to set the scene, I was, as you said, broke. We'd just moved to the UK, which is basically, if any South Africans listening who have moved to the UK, it's basically committing financial suicide. Like you can have this amazing rock star life in South Africa with help and staff and a big house, and it's this amazing lifestyle. You move to the UK, and what you can afford with the money you had in South Africa, you get a tiny house. The weather's not as nice as you used to. Job opportunities are actually better here in a way because there is employment. The jobs really are here. But Mike was struggling to get his particular work, which is strategy and advertising, because Edinburgh has a very like closed advertising kind of club. It's quite hard to break in there. So maybe like moving to London would have been better. Well, not maybe, definitely would have been better for his career rather than moving to anywhere near Edinburgh. So like he was battling with work. I had spent the last year moving my family over to a new country. So all the time I'd spent packing and getting ready, like all that time I was not spending on my indie author business. And you could definitely see it. I mean, it just my royalties were going down, down, down every month. And like things were looking pretty dire, I must say. I was even looking at getting a job here, like a muggle job, like a receptionist at a hotel. And there's a beautiful hotel nearby.
so hold on.
Sorry, go
What
ahead.
did two things? So what did make you decide A to go to Scotland and not to London? And B, whose decision was it to move? Was it yours or Mark's to leave SA?
It was both of ours, but Mike had been wanting to leave for quite a while. And I was like, no, I'm staying in South Africa. Like, I was one of those, like, I'm staying, it's going to work out.
Hashtag
I'm
I'm staying.
optimistic. Yeah. My beautiful, beautiful network of friends is here that, like, I would never leave. All our family is there except Mike's brother Simon, who lives in Peru. It's like, it'd be crazy to leave. Like, we had this amazing house, like, it would be crazy. But things just got way too hectic. The crime was too hectic. We had water problems, power problems. It was hard to run a business
Yes.
when you
But
don't have
load
power
shedding
for half the day.
half the yeah, and I mean in Joburg it was really but you were
It
without
was so
power
bad.
for like
It was,
four hours at a time, like three
yeah,
hours a day.
yeah. And your laptop battery only lasts so long. And
Yeah.
then because of all the interruptions in power, things would fall over and then you wouldn't have power for 3 days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I cannot work like this.
Yeah,
And then
no.
like there wouldn't be bath water for kids. And like I was like, I'm sorry, I can't live like this. And so I eventually just had enough. Like I took it, I took it, I took it. And it's like being in a bad relationship. You take it, and then there's just that like thing that just turns, and all of a sudden it's over.
Okay.
And my intuition, like I leaned hard into my intuition. I have been for the last 3 years, but that last year in South Africa, my intuition was saying, It's time, it's time, it's time."
Okay.
So yeah, and
I
then
think
Mark is
for
like,
your
"Yeah,
career, it's
finally."
also such a great move. I don't think, and not to take away from how much you've achieved, but I think that territory is definitely, it's assisted, it's aided. There's just certain things that you haven't had
Definitely,
to fight against.
definitely. And a big part of it, I think, is how safe I feel here.
Mm.
Because if you feel safe, then your nervous system is settled and you can make good decisions.
Yeah.
But if you are living in fear and anxiety, you don't make the right
All
decisions. You
day.
make fear-based decisions.
Yeah.
Whereas now I can make faith-based decisions. I
Yeah.
do believe things are going to work out. I have clarity that I haven't had before because I'm settled in my body and settled in myself. The safety of living here is incredible. When you turn on a light, the light goes on.
Yeah.
When you turn on your computer to do a podcast, it works. It's like I need that in order to thrive.
Yeah.
Not like putting out fires all the
Ability.
time in South Africa. This
Yeah.
is wrong. This is wrong. Now we can't do this. Now we can't open the garage door because the power's been out for 3 days and the battery's died.
Yeah.
I can't operate like that. It was just too much.
I think a lot of South Africans are just living in full cortisol flush all the time.
I know. Well, I definitely was. I definitely was.
Okay, right. Get into London.
So like we've been here for a year. Mike's battling to get work. My royalties have just flipping crashed through the floor. And I'm like, oh my God, I actually need to get a job. And I'm like, it's fine, it won't be the end of the world, I'll just get a job. But that would mean taking my foot off the gas with my author career. And I probably would have been able to write like one book in a year as opposed to four, right? So it would have been a almost a death knell to my indie author career. Like
Yeah,
I'd still be a writer, but it'd be more of a hobby kind of thing,
yeah.
right? But I did apply for that receptionist job and I didn't get it. Okay, like how bad it was.
I mean, I don't know if you should be telling people.
Well, it's true. And you know that the minimum wage here is £2,000 a month.
Oh, wow.
So that's 50,000 Rand.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Flexible hours. They have all these beautiful programs. Like you get to stay in the hotel for discounts. Like it was a good deal. I was like, I could do this. It wouldn't be like the most terrible thing to happen to me.
Oh,
I can actually do this.
yeah.
So at £2,000,
And they were
basically,
like, hard pass.
yeah, I'm like, no.
Just saying, also, you were like at a low point, then they had to
Yeah.
ego at the same time.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I can't even be a receptionist. Wow, thanks, universe. But actually, yes, thank you, universe, because what was the universe actually telling me?
Yeah.
No, you're not meant to be a receptionist, Janita. I know things are hard, but
Yes.
you need to monetize your career. You've got the books there. You've done the hard work. All you need to do is do this final push of monetizing your stuff and making money. It's not that difficult. You can do it. And I'm like, okay, I can do it.
Yeah.
Right. Now what are we going to do?
Go to
So,
London.
so I
Platform 9 3/4. Here we go.
So just before London, I watched that Steve Higgs video.
Okay.
So part of my thing, like I've got to monetize this and I can't just like keep on writing that I need to monetize, right? So then I started watching all the 20 books, Las Vegas videos.
Okay.
And I was learning every day. Like I was doing like Photoshop stuff. I was probably doing like paperback wraps and stuff, and always having this YouTube in the background. And it's like do this, do this, do this, and I was making changes, and like that was good. But then I listened to the Steve Higgs one, the one that you've seen too, about Facebook ads,
Yes.
and I'm like, oh, okay, I think I can do this. So then I started doing Facebook ads, and they started working. And that's when I said to Micah, come, I need more money because these are working. Look at this ROI. I was making over 100% ROI. And he gave me a little bit more money, a little bit more money. And then he said, no, that's it. Like, we can't go past that. And I was like, what? How, why would you say that if the ROI is over 100% or whatever it was? It was very, very high. And he was like, well, I've got cash flow, da da da, and that's understandable, right?
Yeah, when you
But I'm
can.
like, I started chafing underneath that, right? So I'm like, no, I can do better than I need the money now, and I can do better than this. So that's when my thoughts started turning to buying my rights
And
back.
at this time, you obviously also knew that you had this equity from selling the house that you
Yes,
hadn't spent yet on buying a new house. And again,
yes,
universe is going, no, Janita, you don't need a house right now. You need this
yes,
money. So
yes.
I feel like that really did everything kind of aligned for you for
It
the
did.
perfect, like,
Absolutely.
was the perfect
Absolutely.
spot.
Like when you look back, and that's also interesting because I think when we look back at what we're doing today, we're gonna realize that even if things seem frustrating to us now, things will work out, things will align because that's how the universe works.
Yes.
If you believe that. Not everyone believes the universe has their back, and then I think that things maybe don't align as well as they could.
The power of positive thinking is this, I think, one of the most powerful tools
Agreed.
that
Agreed.
any person can have in life.
Agreed. I actually want to write a book about it because I just believe in it so much. Anyway, okay, so I don't get the receptionist job. I start learning a lot more about monetization. I watch Steve Higgs, my Facebook ads start working, but now I'm published by Micah, so I'm only sharing royalties 50-50 on my best-selling books. And
Yeah.
I'm doing all the work. I'm doing all the Facebook advertising.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's something there's going to change. But it was all good news because things were going in the right direction, right? And then the London conference thing came up, and I'm like, oh, I really want to go, but I didn't have the money. I can't remember what the ticket cost, but the train fare there is £200. So then on the 20 Books Facebook group, Craig Martell says, guys, guess what? Oh, sorry, before this happens, I write to James Blatch because I kind of know him because I am an alumni and he's interviewed me for one of the ads, the self-publishing school ads and stuff. So I said, hi, James. I don't know if you remember me, but I can't afford a ticket this year. I'd love to go. Um, can I do any like volunteering or work and get the tickets for free? So he says, actually, we've got enough volunteers this year. Sorry about that. So I'm like, that's cool, that's fine. Then Craig Martell's thing happens, and he's like, guys, I've got a ticket and £200 going, like, who wants it? And I'm like, me, please. Da, 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 da. And luckily he chose me. And isn't it weird that the £200, like, why would he give £200 along with the ticket?
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Which
And the
was,
train costs £200.
yes. I wonder,
So
do you not think maybe a conversation was had that you weren't aware of?
no, I don't think so.
No, maybe James was like, oh, shame. They couldn't even take her as a receptionist. We need to get
Maybe, maybe. Like Janita wanted to
what
help me
happened.
get a
They are
ticket.
wonderful. We love them. And they gave you an opportunity, right?
Yeah, yeah. But
Okay, so
the
London.
funny thing is, so I did meet up with Craig at the conference and I gave him a hug and he gave me like the pounds like in cash. It was so cool. And I was like, oh my God, like what are the chances it pays for the train ticket? Like exactly.
Yeah.
Um, but just before that happened, James's ops manager, Catherine, emailed me and she's a volunteer's just dropped out. Is there any way you could still help us? So I'm like, definitely, that's so cool. And then they didn't even have to give me a free ticket because I had one. So basically, like two things aligned there. I could have got the ticket two ways and it worked out like
We're
double
meant to
time.
be
So
there.
that was amazing. Yeah, like I was definitely meant to be there.
Yeah.
Then the day before the conference, I'm walking around London. I'm checking things out. I love London. I just walk everywhere. Like the whole day I'm walking. I do like 20,000 steps. I just love it. And I was listening to this podcast, and it was all about abundance and manifesting and the universe having your back. And I'm like, I was feeling it. I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm here because like the universe put me here
Yes.
to be in London for the conference. And I really like believed it when she said that you manifest things because feel like I manifested that London trip, right?
Yes.
And I'm busy walking around, and she's like, "Okay, look for signs that you're living the life you're meant to be living, or whatever." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna look for signs." I kid you not, I go past the shop, and it's got a black and gold sign, like a very old, like fancy black and gold sign, and it says Ravenscroft.
What's about Ravenscroft? I know it's linked to your spicy romance.
So it's the surname of my main character, the guy. His name's Alistair Ravenscroft, and my book covers were black and gold. And there was a sign, like literally, when she says
Why
"look
are
for
you listening
signs"
to it?
that day, it was amazing. And there were also other things that I can't really remember now, but I remember coming back to my kids and saying, guys, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be because this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened. And it just seems like everything was just on board for for like what was supposed to happen that weekend. What's supposed to happen in my author career? Like it just seemed 100% right.
Yes.
And that includes when I was volunteering, I got to sit in the green room with all the speakers, which was amazing. And the most amazing thing was E.L. James, who wrote 50 Shades of Grey, and she's a multimillionaire and she's amazing. And I got to be her like person. Like I got to sit in the green room with her, and like I was her appointed person.
I will never, ever, ever understand haters for anything. And so many people will open a sentence with, "Oh, yeah, 50 Shades of Grey was so badly written." I'm like, why are you saying that?
Why? Why
And
say that?
I enjoyed it for what it was. It was sensationalist. I had a bit of a crush on old Christian. I thought he was well.
People want to feel superior.
You know what? You still read it. You
Yeah. You
thought it
think
was
you're
badly
better than
written,
me.
but
Yeah.
you went out and actively bought a book that you knew was about a guy and talked about anal fisting, and you don't have a problem with that, but you have a problem with the fact that it wasn't as well written as you'd hoped.
Yes.
What did you want?
There's always a backlash, right? Whenever something gets very popular, there's always going to be a
Um,
backlash somehow. It's like tall poppy syndrome, right?
yeah.
You don't want any of the poppies to be too tall because that makes everyone else look bad. So you
Yeah.
just chop that one down. And she's so lovely, I promise you. She's
That's
so
it.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
it. It's forgetting that there's a real person behind all your criticism and your backlash.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I don't think she cares. She's got so many houses. She's like just living her best life.
I hate you. That's cool. Cool story, bro. I'll just wave at you from my castle. Okay, right. So what did we learn? So then you sat on these panels and
And also the fact that I met Steve in person.
ah, excuse me. I was actually going to end this episode and say, can I ask a question? Is Steve Hicks going to be in London?
Of course he is. No, but I mean that was a nice like circle because Steve Higgs was like the beginning of the Facebook ads, and then I met him in London.
Yes. And was
You know what
he
I mean?
was he super encouraging? Was he like,
Yeah, he was fantastic. Lovely, 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 lovely guy.
and how long was the conference?
It was 2 days.
Okay. So you were just in there like wide-eyed, like young author, just trying to absorb as much as you could.
Yeah, yeah. It was because I was sitting in the green room, I didn't get to see a lot of the talks. So I only watched those afterwards.
Okay.
So it's not like I was there and just like learning all this stuff. I watched the stuff when I got back.
You were
But
connected.
it was just so great meeting the guys, and
And you
spending
probably fed
time.
off that energy without even realizing, just feeding
Oh
off that
yeah,
energy
oh
of
yeah,
like these super
yeah.
successful people who are getting it right. How I feel when I look at you. I just super successful.
Stars.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
But even then, I remember thinking, oh, but I'm like people like there was a panel of six-figure authors and they were talking about income and stuff. And I was like, yeah, but I'm on my way there. Like it wasn't like, oh, I wish I could be like them. I'm never gonna be like them. I was like, oh, I'm on my way there. I just need to break through this false ceiling that I have with Muanic Press,
Yes.
and I'm gonna be there. So like
So
I
before
wasn't starry-eyed. I was like, oh my God, like
back
I'm almost
into
there.
it's almost like
Yeah.
realizing your potential.
Yeah.
Um, I think if I look at what I was earning from books before Munich, honestly feel like the money is so laughable before you
Yes.
like before Munich. But what I'm saying is as an author, you feel like you will literally sell zero books. Like you'll have your launch, you'll sell like 100 books and then it just dead it flattens. You just need that one thing to happen that you start to generate a bit of money out of it and you suddenly start to believe that you can. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? It's that
Yeah.
turning point. And I think
Yeah.
your turning point wasn't actually at London.
No, it was Facebook ads, Steve Higgs.
Yes. And then
Definitely.
London just kind of showed you how big it could get. Like, how
Yeah.
deep does this rabbit hole go?
Yeah. London for me was just like a big stamp of like approval
Yeah.
on the direction I was going. It was like
Yeah.
you're doing the right thing. You can earn as much as these authors in a few months if you keep doing the right thing. And then obviously it made me realize that I can't stay with Micah and Moanic Press because I could just do so much better without him. And buying my rights back, as you know, was the best thing I could have done for my business.
It's crazy. And I think just hanging around those people and seeing how much, because I think we tend to think small. And maybe it's also like a cultural thing with South Africans, like those numbers sound so massive. And
Mm,
we're talking in rands. I mean, you can't even compare
yeah,
the two.
yeah.
And then being around them, I think you just, yeah, you suddenly saw how much potentially money you can make because, books are quite a low, like a low priced commodity. You think
Mm, mm,
you go to a book in store, people are paying 150 Rand for it, you're getting 10 Rand, if
mm,
15, if you're lucky. You got to sell a
exactly.
lot of books, to make a decent
Yeah.
living.
But that's why I love the 20 books group because people screenshot their royalties and put it up there.
My favorite.
And it makes you realize that it really is possible. Like when I saw big numbers a few years ago, I'm like, that I can't believe that's possible.
Friend,
But it is.
I have an admission to make. I print out the screenshots with the thing and I have them all in a plastic sleeve. Like when I'm lying in bed and I can pull out and I can read them because I
That's
find it so
good.
motivating. And also people give such great advice. Like they're
They
so
do.
so generous
Generous.
with the
Yeah.
with their advice. I'm gonna get there. I'm telling you. I'm already
I
seeing.
know you are. I know you are.
I'm gonna send you my graph. It looked so ridiculous before. It's starting to actually look like something. Like it's actually
Yay.
something.
Yay.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about this year. So London, life-changing, little orphan Janita got off the train.
Little, can I have
And
some more?
yeah, please, sir, can I have some? And now we are 12 months later and it's coming round again. And
Yes.
how is your perception of it different? What are you looking forward to this time as opposed to that time? How are you going in this time versus last time? Like,
Yeah, so this time it's mostly just to see my mates from Seville and to just like spend hours talking to them. I hope that's going to happen because like all my favorite people from Seville are going to be there.
and you've
Yeah.
got the lineup. Is that available online? Can we pop that in anywhere?
I can pop it in on the when we post this, I'll pop it in. But yeah, it is available online.
And
Um,
how do people go about for anyone who is there and wants to go and wants to, how do they buy a ticket? Are tickets sold out? Are tickets readily available? Where is it?
I think so. There are 2 days. The first day is like talks, and the second day is a workshop. And the workshop is the expensive one, where it's more like less people per speaker, and that one is sold out. But the
Wow.
first day is
Oh,
not yet sold out, as far as
okay.
I know. But they have stopped. I think they may have stopped selling tickets, but that might still be today. So I don't know when this podcast is going to be um, aired, but yeah, if you haven't bought your ticket by now, you've probably missed it. But the website's address is learnselfpublishing.com
Okay.
forward slash SPS Live 2025. I'll
Okay.
put that in the thing. But I have a feeling it'll be too late. But I think whoever wanted to go has probably bought a
Already
ticket.
bought their tickets, but it's
Yeah.
nice to know for next time.
I don't think they're doing it next year.
Oh, they're not.
I'm expecting an announcement that they're not doing it, but I'll let you know. It's a massive time commitment, hey? And James is
Takes a
already
lot.
doing so much.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure on the other side of London, you will have more stories for us and more
Yeah.
tips and more tricks and more everything else.
Do you want me to quickly tell you the lineup?
Yes, let us know what it is, what is happening.
Okay, so James Blatch does the welcome, and then Inez Johnson does hook your readers and reel them in. Do you know Inez Johnson?
Hmm.
You will love her. Please sign up for her newsletter. Is
Okay.
it on Substack? I think, yeah, it's on Substack. She
Right.
is so great. She's got such an amazing energy, and she used to write for TV, and
Okay.
she knows tropes like the back of her hand, and she's just so good. She's so
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So that's Hook Your Readers and Reel Them In by Inez Johnson. And then after that, it's a panel, Write, Publish, Market, Repeat by Claire Lydon, David J. Gatwood, Susie Tate, and Jen Barrett. So
okay.
that should be interesting. Then Shal Honecker does Make AI Work for You. You know, Shal Honecker is like the AI automation expert.
Oh,
She
wow. I
publishes
haven't.
Indie Author magazine, and she's automated to such an extent. It's incredible.
Okay.
She's like really good. I think she used to be a coder. When I listen to her on a podcast, I get lost almost immediately. It's too advanced for me because she's a
Okay,
coder. She's like
got you.
talking about coding language, and I'm like, I don't know.
She
We were
probably
talking about
understands.
marketing, and
Yes.
now we're talking about code.
she probably has really good insight into the algorithms and things, like how
Yeah,
it
yeah,
works.
she probably does.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's great. Then another panel, must have author tools. James Blatch, Digital Authors Toolkit, Pro Writing Aid, W.F. Howes, Publisher Champ. W.F. Howes is an audiobook company.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know the others. Publisher Champ, people talk about all the time. I don't know what it is. So
Okay.
that'll be interesting.
Yes.
Next is Writing to Market by Alex Newton.
Okay.
Alex Newton's talk is always brilliant. Like I would not miss it. It's always brilliant. He
Okay.
tells you exactly what's selling, what has declined, what he thinks is going to sell next year. It's excellent.
Wow. I think we
Excellent.
mentioned this before. Are these talks going to be broadcast or filmed and published later?
If you buy a digital ticket,
Okay.
then you can get the videos,
Okay.
or if you have a regular ticket, you also get the digital
Okay.
videos.
Perfect.
So yeah. Okay, then Scott Curry is doing The Story That Heals, a writer's guide to mental wellness.
Okay. Oh wow.
Then, this one I'm looking forward to. David Viergutz is doing direct sales for authors. David Viergutz is the scare mail guy.
What is this Gmail again? Remind me.
This guy he's so brilliant. So instead of just selling regular books, which he does, he has these like short stories, or maybe they're chapters of a book, I'm not sure, that he literally prints out and snail mails to people.
No.
It is like a booming business. He's made so much money. He's been invited to Shark Tank, I think. It's like, or maybe he approached Shark Tank, but either way, they are in talks. He's doing so well that he's opening it up to other authors now because he can only write so much, and it's doing so well. So like I hopped right on board. I'm like, hi, me. I put my name on his list because he's in one of the millionaire author groups that I'm in. So I'm really looking forward to hearing about that because his thinking is obviously just so different. Like, would you ever have
Never.
thought of that
It's like a
as a
Reader's
good
Digest
business
in
idea?
bite-sized chunks.
Like, never ever. But since that, I'm like, oh, that I can see how we
Yeah.
can take little things from that and just improve our own offering. Like, I definitely want to start. Like I'm thinking maybe when I relaunch Sticky Fingers, maybe instead of just sending the book as it is, I'll write a brand new story that hasn't been published anywhere, print it
Okay.
out, and just pop it in with the regular book, so that that reader is getting something that no one else has.
Has got, yes.
Okay, then we're almost done. The third last one is sell loads of books on TikTok by Zach Diamanti. He's brilliant, apparently. I don't follow
It's two
him.
TikTok panels, which is quite nice because I know you having success with yours, but I mean you can only ever get better, right?
Yeah, but I wanted to talk to you about my TikTok store because it's not like printing money.
Okay.
Um, as I said to you, only book one of that is really selling. There
Yeah.
have been a few of the later books that I've sold recently, but it's still not doing like crazy well here. I don't know, it's just like TikTok shop. It's so difficult. They're difficult to deal with. They never get back to you. You open a case and they just close it without. So it's like it has been difficult. It's not like, oh my God, TikTok shop's amazing. We sold out. Yeah, we sold out and we printed more books and those are selling not as fast as the first ones were. But I'm not convinced if it's worth at this stage that it's worth time. I think we just need to spend, if we want to do it, we need to do it properly. It's not something you can just put some books up, pay a few influencers and let it. I don't think that's possible. I think you really need to like be behind it properly. Like it's a whole other business. That's what it's feeling like. And Mike doesn't have time. I don't have time.
Okay, and does this make you, are you then considering closing your UK TikTok shop?
No, because it is still selling. So we're thinking of maybe dispatching from here, instead of using the TikTok dispatch service because that's really where the problems are coming in.
Okay.
So if we dispatch from here, it's UK, the Royal Mail is brilliant. Like you can post something and the reader can get it the next day. It's incredible. So I think we might do that next. And then also, the Urban Fantasy books have not moved, not even one little bit. So that's
Are
another
you, is
reason.
this making you apprehensive about the US one? Or no? You know that's good.
No, because the US is Shopify, not TikTok.
Okay, got you. Oh, this with Pierre Gentil. Oh, it's Shopify. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
nice because then I'm going to push that right back in my list of things I should be worrying about.
yes.
See, I love that you go first. It's so kind of you.
Yeah,
You saved me from wasting a lot of time, my friend.
good. I'm glad.
Okay. Right.
Okay, and then the last one before the wrap up by James is "You Can Do It" by Mark Reclau, and he's this great guy. I think he's Dutch. He's got a great accent, and like he loves sailing on a yacht and stuff. He's like got this great attitude and personality, and he's just very encouraging and
And that
also very
topic
real.
sounds like it might be then in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the topic again?
You can do it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
You want that delivered by someone who's just kind of cool.
Exactly, exactly. And he's honest too, he's not just like, oh, in the clouds, you can do it, anyone can do it. No. Like he in his last talk, which I loved, he was like he saw the royalties coming in and he was like, yes, I'm rich now. I can just go on a month-long yacht holiday or whatever. And then he looked at his bank account and he's like, oh no, I'm not rich. So I don't know like what he was spending on ads and stuff, but he realized, oh, all the success I thought I had and that I'm projecting and telling people about is not true because my bottom line is not showing that. So like he said that to everyone. So like I really appreciate that because I think a lot of people are like, yeah,
Honesty.
I'm doing so well and I'm so rich. And then, the bottom line it tells a very different story. So yeah, no, and he's great.
Oh, it sounds lovely. I think you're going to have a whale of a time.
Yeah, I think so too.
Also, now that you're kind of rubbing shoulders, you have more easy conversations. Do you know what I mean?
I'll definitely feel more confident going in than I did last year.
This is so exciting. Like it just keeps getting more and more exciting.
And it's
Yeah,
also
for
awesome that I've had the best month ever. So like
yes.
because if I was having a slow month, I feel like my imposter syndrome would come
Fair up.
creeping back and I'd be like, I was doing well, but now I'm not doing that well. And maybe it was just a
Fluke.
splash in the pan and da da da. But now it's been my best month ever. So I'm going in strong. I'm like, yeah, like
Yeah,
I've
you
got
got
this
that.
now. I must just keep going. I've got it.
Yes. 100%. You please just keep going, okay? You can't hold on to your coattails if you're going downwards. You gotta
Well, maybe I want to be a receptionist, Starport. Don't be so selfish.
Did you ever watch Suits?
I did the first season, yeah.
I mean, who was the real hero of Suits? It was Donna.
Oh no, receptions are always awesome.
All right, friend, but I think you should stick to authorhood just for now at least.
Yeah, yeah, I think I will. The universe has made it clear that I'm not meant to do
This is
anything
what
else.
you are doing. Our next episode, we are revisiting our strategy, which I
Mhm.
think is really good for both of us.
Yes.
Dive back in, regroup, and I have some questions for you. See whether I have the right idea. I know we touched on this in the last episode. I kind of mentioned a few things that I'd done with my ads, but yeah, holistic looks at our businesses and where we are going.
Excellent.
That will be exciting.
Looking forward to it. I always love to talk about strategy.
All right, friend. Well, I will see you
Okay.
in the next episode.
Okay, see you
All
there.
right, cool. I'll see you there.
Goodbye.